Well, time to discuss my favourite unit and my favourite army. Yeah, orcs are definitely close up there, but personally, I just love playing Sisters of Battle. And yeah, hello there, Repentia. So, they first appeared in the 3rd edition Witch Hunters Codex as a 0 to 1 elite choice. 20 points a model for the Repentia, coming in units of 4 to 19, and they had to be led by a Mistress who was 30 points. The Repentia were Weapon Skill 4, Bliss Skill 4. That Bliss Skill is never really going to come up for the Repentia, don't worry. Strength 3, Toughness 3, Runes 1, Initiative 3, Attacks 1, Leap 6, and a 4+ save. The Mistress was Initiative 4, Attacks 2, Leadership 10, otherwise she had the same stats. Now, the Repentia came with Eviscerators, two-handed chain fists, basically. Doubled their strength to 6 in combat, but they struck at Initiative 1, but it did give them 2d6 arm penetration against vehicles. The Mistress came with 2 Neural Whips, which are power weapons that increase her attack and initiative by 1. Now then, special rules. They have only in death does duty end. At the start of the movement phase, roll a d6, or 2 if you have a Mistress. If either dice is a 1 or a 2, they're subject to Holy Rage, gaining plus d6 to the movement for the turn, and they must charge and swing in advance if they can. Yeah, no, little bonus to the movement there. Very nice. Along with that, Righteous Zeal. If they fail morale checks due to, say, shooting casualties, they don't run away. They run 2d6 towards the nearest enemy unit instead. Also, this can bring them to base contact of an enemy unit, and if they do, they count as assaulting. And while in assault, they pass all morale checks. Yeah, it's one of the few times you kind of want them to fail a morale check. Now, character-wise, they can only be led by priests, and they can never ride in a transport. Yeah, Repentia were kind of pricey, but if they're going to accomplish something, they could do a large amount of damage as, yeah, they're striking at Initiative 1, but that's still Strength 6 power weapons. Also, that 4+ save was kind of annoying for opponents to deal with small armors fire. I can tell you now numerous times I've taken them against people and they can fire bolters at them and go, what do you mean they have a 4+ save? Still, the one thing to keep in mind is they're not Sisters of Battle, so they don't gain any Acts of Faith or anything like that. Yeah, because of their whole Repentia oath, they don't get those benefits anymore. Still, next update! White Dwarf. Yeah, this is when the girls, kind of got bounced around a bit. So, they're still elite choice, no longer 0 to 1, but their squad size has gone down. Mistress and 4 of them are 90 points, and you have up to 5 more for 70 points each. Bye bye 20 girl blob. Stat-wise, the Repentia have gained an attack and 2 leadership, but they no longer have a save. The Mistress loses an initiative and leadership, but has a 3+ save now. Did find it weird she didn't have a proper power armor last time. So, equipment. Well, the Repentia kept the Eviscerator, and the Mistress still has the Neural Whips, but also flying crack grenades now. Also, the whips have changed. When hitting a non-vehicle unit, they are classed as being Strength 8, but you roll to rune against the target's leadership, not toughness, which against some foes made them better, and some worse now. She can also have Melter Bombs of 5 points. Special rules. They have Fearless, Feel No Pain now, which replaces the armor save and does make a bit more sense, Fleet, Rage, and Shield of Faith, giving them a 6+ invul save. They also have an Act of Faith now, Spirit of the Martyr, which can be used at the start of the assault phase. Any of the Repentia that are killed before they get to striking combat are put on their side. After all other attacks are done, the models on their side get to make 1 attack, and then removed from the table. So yeah, the squad size became smaller, but they've also become a bit more durable, and hey, even if they're striking last, with the Act of Faith they can still do some stuff. Also, they can't take a dedicated transport, but there's nothing that says they can't get one, which also did help. Still, they then got another update in 6. They're now down to 85 points for the base unit, and 14 points otherwise. No stats have changed. The Eviscerator is now Strength X times 2, AP 2, Melee, Armor Bane, Two-Handed, and Unwieldy. It's not really changed, it's just had a bunch of, special rules on it now. Neural Whips of the Mistress are now Strength 3, AP 3, Melee, and a Specialist weapon. Also, against non-vehicle units that are leadership or higher, they gain the Shred special rule now. She also has both Grenade Still and Still Allow Melter Bombs for 5 points. The Rhino and Immolator are now just a dedicated transport option for them. Very nice. Now, special rules. Still got Fleet, Fearless, Rage, and Shield of Faith, which also gives them Adamantium Will along with the invul save now. Where's the Feel No Pain gone? Well, this is their active, their active faith. It's one use only, used at the start of combat, and grants them a 3+ Feel No Pain. Yeah. So, that Feel No Pain becoming an active faith? Oh, they needed a Decade Transport now. Because otherwise they just died. Because a 6+ invul is something, but yeah. Still, 8th edition would arrive, and the sisters would get their plastic kits. Hello, the current Repentia kits. And they're still pretty good. Now, one thing we do need to talk about in 8th, the Repentia and their superior now, no longer a mistress, have different entries. So, Repentia. They're currently squads of 4 to 9, 13 points a model, movement 6, weapon skill 3+, best skill 3+, strength 3, toughness 3, wounds 1, attacks 2, leadership 8. And a 7+ save. Which is a nice way of saying you're not getting one ever. The Eviscerator now has the Penitent title in front of it. It's strength times 2, AP -3, damage 2, and you subtract 1 from the hit roll when using it. Special rules? Well, let's start with the army ones. Acts of Faith, so get to use Miracle Dice. They gain the benefits of Sacred Rites. Shield of Faith, still around, giving them the 6+ invul and a buff against Psychers, and they're also Zealots. So they get to reroll hit rolls on the turn they charge, are charged, or do Heroic Intervention. Now then, what about unique ones to them? Well, when the unit is destroyed outside of the morale phase, you gain 1 miracle deck from Martyrdom. If they would lose a wound, roll a d6 on a 5+, it's not lost thanks to Solace and Anguish. So yeah, they've still got their own little Feel No Pain thing there. So yeah, they got buffed again after the last outing, becoming somewhat more durable again. Base, and do some decent damage now, as sure you're hitting on 4s, but you're probably getting rerolls most of the time, let's face it. Now, what about the Superior? Well, she's 35 points, movement 6, weapon skill 3+, base skill 3+, strength 3, toughness 3, runes 4, attacks 4, leadership 8, 3+ save. Yeah, she's become a proper character. So, she's gained a bolt pistol as an option now, along with Fry and Crack Grenade still kicking. The whips are now strength 3, AP -1, damage 1, and if striking something that's not a vehicle with leadership no higher than 7, add 1 to the brood roll. Yeah, it's a bit of a tweak there. She has the Axe of Faith, Sacred Rites, and Shield of Faith. She does not have Zealot. She does have Scourge of the Penitent, so she does count as an elite choice. But if your army is Battleforged, she does not count as elite choice if you have a unit of Repentia. Also, while she's within 6 inches of them, they get to reroll advance and charge rolls, and runes of 1 in close combat. Yeah, this is a little bit of an odd time with them becoming separated. But it's still easy to take her with Repentia. Unless you just wanted 3 superiors running around by themselves. But yes, overall, they've definitely come back swinging after their rough last time. Now, 9th edition. The Repentia are now 4 to 10, 14 points. And that's it. The Repentia themselves have not changed. Fair enough. The Superior, however, is 40 points now, and the attacks have gone up to 5. The neural pips are the same as the rest of the equipment. Act of Faith, Sacred Rites, Shield of Faith still here. Scourge of the Penitent is still here. Now, driven onwards. While within 3 inches of the Repentia, they both get to charge in the turn they advanced, and each time a charge roll is made, roll an additional d6 and discard one of the results. Very handy. They also have Overseer of Redemption, which now grants the Repentia within 6 inches +1 to their rune rolls in combat. So yeah, 9th was more just tweaking to the Superior. And honestly, there's situations where having the 8th edition reroll of ones would be better, but also situations where you're probably glad to have the +1 to runes, so overall it probably breaks even. Now then, 10th edition. And come on, Repentia and Superior, let's get back together again. I'm also pretty convinced that the reason this happened is because they stopped calling her Mistress and she took that personally. So, anyway, it's 70 points if 4 in the superior, and 140 if you want 5 more of them. So, stats. Repentia, movement 7, toughness 3, save 7 plus still, but they have got a 6 plus invul, wound 1, leadership 8 plus, OC 1. The superior, meanwhile, basically the same, but 3 plus save, leadership 7 plus. Equipment wise, the Eviscerator is now attacks 2, weapon skill 4 plus, strength 6, AP minus 2, damage 2, sustained hits 1. Numeral Whips, attacks 4, weapon skill 3, strength 3, AP 1, damage 1, anti-infantry 4 plus, and she's still packing a bolt pistol. So, what about special rolls? Well, 5 plus Feel No Pain is still here, Acts of Faith as well, and while the superior is alive, the Repentia get to reroll hit and wound rolls with their weapons. So, have they been simplified like a lot of things in 10th? Yes. Is rerolling attacks and runes still very nasty if they get stuck into a target? Oh yeah, especially with sustained hits. And that is the Repentia. Honestly, the only sort of black spot on their record was 6th. That was a very odd time for them, basically being very dependent on a transport to do anything. But I will say, personally for me, I love my 3rd edition 20-girl blob just running down the battlefield and just cutting things down. As yeah, when I play older editions, I'm playing the Rich Hunters Codex and using those Repentia.